100. The best sci-fi movies, man. It's me, your boy Seed, the host of most of the things right here on Paprika, man. Talking about 100 of the science fiction movies, man. Movies of the sci-fi variety, one a day for the first 100 days of the year 2022. Trying to get your year started off right, talking about one of the best genres of storytelling that there is. A genre that the Academy still continues to ignore when it comes to nominating Best Pictures. But anyways, sci-fi. Yesterday, we talked about number 66 on our list, Hunger Games. If it's been a while since I'm sorry, that was number 60. Yeah, 66 on the list. If you have not watched Hunger Games in a while, man, it's a good watch. I suggest you carve a couple hours out of maybe like a good Saturday afternoon when you got nothing going on, man. If it's raining outside, that's the time to sit down and watch you some Hunger Games, man. Also, listen to yesterday's podcast if you haven't already. Today, we're talking about number 65 on the list. We got to go across the pond for this bad boy. 2011's Attack the Block. Directed by Joe Cornish, man. Inner City versus Outer Space. A teen gang in a grim South London housing estate must team up with the other residents to protect their neighborhood from a terrifying alien invasion. This is the movie that pretty much put our boy John Boyega on the map, man, aka Moses, in this movie. And he would go on to be a part of a larger science fiction franchise. Some of those we'll talk about maybe a little bit down the road there. But for now, man, listen. Attack the Block is it's kind of hard to describe. Like, aliens come down, they kind of crash land all up in this business. We have it established fairly early on that the group of people that we're following, this group of South London kids, are pieces of shit. Just generally terrorizing the neighborhood and thinking they're the hard boys on the block, when really they're just, for the most part, a bunch of scared children, man. And these kids happen to come across one of these aliens that attacks them, a very aggressive species that attacks them. They manage to kill it, and then decide to tote it around. Why would you do that? And then all of a sudden, they are the targets for all the other aliens because they want their member of their populace back. You also get Jodie Whittaker in there, the umpteenth Doctor. Who is also a member of the complex that they live in. She is one of the people that they are terrorizing earlier in the day, and it kind of comes down to that whole odd couple relationship, like where Moses and his gang have to team up with Jodie Whittaker in order to try to put a stop to this when they realize that what they want is the body of their other compatriot back, and they are very aggressive and trying to get to it, and it's just a great, well done movie, man. Like, once it hits, it very rarely slows down. And the only time the action slows down is to ramp up suspense. I think John Boyega is great in it. Attack the Block is the reason so many people were happy when they were announced that John Boyega was a part of the Star Wars franchise. And I have no idea what happened to Joe Cornish. Like, he just did this dope flick and dipped. Joe, if you're listening, I do believe they are in talks for an Attack the Block 2. Block harder is what I would call that. So I'm very much on board to return to this world, see what a grown-up Moses and gang are doing with their lives these days, and how they handle a second alien invasion, I guess. Hopefully they've moved to a new block at this point. But if you haven't seen Attack the Block, man, you Americans might want to subtitle this. They are speaking English, but it is very South London heavy accents. So sometimes I'm like, the fuck did they just say? let me go back and see. But it is still just a great, fun movie about the survival of this alien invasion. A very small scale. Like, they very rarely get outside of maybe a 5-mile radius, 10-mile radius of the whole story. So it's not as expansive as, say, Independence Day or, something like that, where you see a whole worldwide. This is very localized and is a very well done movie. So, number 65 on this list, man, Attack the Block. We'll be back in 24 of the hours to continue talking about more sci-fi. What's number 64? We will see tomorrow. Until then, you all take it easy and have a good one.